Hi guys, welcome to another edition of Vino Blind. I'm Vince with V is for Vino. Last one of the season. Can I go out with a bang? These are the sessions where we blind together and we hopefully all learn a little bit at the end and come out as better people for it. I'm excited to do this. This is our last episode of this season and I'm happy with how it's turned out. I was a little worried before we started. I was gonna be really rusty and not get a lot of them, but I've been pretty successful, I would say. But as always, the goal is to learn. Speaking of learning, if you haven't watched our How to Blind Taste video, that kind of breaks everything down of what we're gonna talk about here. This is more like the exercise. So go watch that first, then come back, watch this. That being said, it's a red wine. Let's go. Oh, by the way, we're using the Court of Master's advanced taste wine options, in case anybody's following along. Color perspective, a little garnet going on in here. Some ruby with some garnet hues, maybe. Like this might have some age on it or some oak on it or some oxygen on it. That might be a little hint right there, a little giveaway. You know my rule, the first sniff is the most important. Gives you that gut feeling of what you think this wine is, so let's go. Oak, for sure. Kind of buttery, creamy oak leads me to like new oak land. That's first gut impression. You know, this is a pretty medium plus nose, kind of jumping out of the glass at me. Where's our fruit character? Black fruit, ripe, almost overripe black fruits, kind of syrupy black fruit. And I'm getting some kind of tobacco notes, some smoke notes, some leather notes. It's leading me to a richer style of wine, a rich New World Cabernet or something of the like, or a rich Merlot. Oh, am I getting a lot of earth? Not particularly. This is already kind of giving me hints of a New World wine, but we'll see when we get on the palate. Much fresher than I thought it would be based on the nose. Not nearly, I thought this was gonna be a big, rich wine. Oh, this is changing the whole thing. I thought it was gonna be a big, rich wine. And instead, this has good acidity, good freshness on the fruit character, completely opposite of what the nose did. I'm pretty sure that means you could have some diurnal shifts. So diurnal shifts are when the days are really, really hot and the nights are really, really cold. And when you get a big differentiation between your nose and your palate, I think that means diurnal shifts. So that might give me a clue as to the region. Any new flavors? More of that tobacco, earth, smoke, less of the fruit. And the fruit character is tartar than I expected. It smelled rich to me, but now it's like tart black fruit and dark red fruit, more so than it is the big extracted stuff. So yes, new flavors. And this is the first wine I think this season where I've really seen that difference between the nose and between the palate. Tannin structure's there, for sure. Medium plus, really high tannin. Acid, medium plus, really high acid, really high tannin. Body's medium, body is not that huge. Alcohol, medium. Maybe medium plus, but I would say medium. Yeah, 14.5. So yeah, that tannin, man. Just going back to that, it's like really drying out my mouth. There's tannin. This is a tannic grape, whatever it is. Finish and complexity, medium plus finish. Staying on with me for a bit. And complexity, medium. Although as I get more into it, there's a like iron character too, an iron minerality. I didn't get so much on the nose, but I get much more on the palate. All right, this is gonna be, I think I have an idea of what grape it is, but I think determining where it's from is gonna be the challenge here. Cabernet Sauvignon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is what it is, but from where is the question. So let's go down the rest of the list though and just eliminate our other options. Cabernet Franc, no way too tannic. Carmenere, no greenness, too rich, too dark fruit. Amarone, no, not pruny fruit. Gamay, no, way too big, way too much tannin. GSM, no, no spice, no red fruit from Grenache, not a GSM, not big enough either. I mean, I've had lean GSMs, but I don't think it's a GSM. Malbec, no, not purple. Merlot, could be, come back to that. Nebbiolo, not tannic enough, not red fruit enough. Pinot Noir, not red fruit enough, and too much tannin. Sangiovese, nah, because of the oak. There's too much oak character, in my opinion, for a Sangiovese, and it doesn't have that rustic quality I associate with a lot of Italian wines. And it's probably a little too dark. Could it be Sangiovese? I think it's too big. No, I don't think it's Sangiovese. Syrah, no pepper, and the finish is long. You know, Syrah is kind of known for having a bit of a drop off at the end, and the finish is pretty long on this. Tempranillo, no, this isn't Rioja. No American oak signs. Fruit character is too ripe. Zinfandel, no plummy, brambly fruit. Lots of tannin, lots of acid. So we're down to Merlot or Cabernet Sauvignon. Let's talk about if it's New World or Old World, and maybe that'll help me hone it in. My gut was like, oh, I'm getting lots of oak and really dark fruit on the nose. And so that led me to New World. But then I tasted it and it's really lean and the acid is high and the tannin is high and I get that iron character. So that made me go back to Old World. And now that I get into the palate, like I said, on the nose I got some fruit, but on the palate I don't really get a lot of fruit. I think this is Old World. I think it's either Merlot or Cabernet Sauvignon from Bordeaux. If it's something from the New World, I wouldn't be surprised if it's maybe like Paso Cab, because I mentioned the diurnal shifts and they have that there in Paso Robles, but I would just expect it to be riper fruit character and more fruit in general. I think this is our Old World, so Bordeaux, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Merlot. So how do we pick? The big difference tends to be Merlot is maybe a slightly shorter finish, maybe a little less tannin structure, no greenness, less greenness anyway, and more plummy fruit. But I think this is Cabernet. I think that aggressive acidity is something I would more expect from a Cabernet. And the longer finish. I think this is Bordeaux, either left bank or just general Bordeaux. If you get just a general Bordeaux, it actually will probably be Merlot driven. Either way, I think it's Cab or Merlot from Bordeaux. I'm gonna go with a Cabernet blend from Bordeaux, France. I'm gonna say it's $22. And I think there's a little bit of age on this. Some of the fruit is faded, but the tannin's still strong. I'm gonna say it's 2018. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I won't be surprised if it's any of those other options. If it's New World, it's a really earthy New World and I like it. If it's Merlot from Bordeaux, I won't be shocked. But I think it's Cabernet from Bordeaux. That's what I think. I'm locking it in. Final answer.
All right.
I haven't been way off this season, so maybe this is the time I get the way off answer. Maybe I'm, on the complete wrong track. Ready? Here we go. Really close. It was right bank. It was Merlot. It was Bordeaux Merlot. I was really close. The difference between Merlot and Cabernet from Bordeaux can be very tough. I probably should have picked up on that it was a little bit thinner. I'm happy. I got really, really close. I even got really close with the age. This is a 2019, I said 2018. Alcohol, what did I say? 13.5, so I said 4, I was a little off on that. But I got the place, and I'm very, very happy with getting that close on it. How would I have gotten it? It's Merlot. Saint-Emilion is a place on the right bank, so that's Merlot. Like I said, I think this is probably a bit thinner. It's not quite as plush as I would have expected the Cab to be. So maybe that could have been a clue. How much was this wine? 40. All right, so I was way off on the quality. There's also a good amount of greenness, and that made me think it was Cab, but Merlot can have that too. I'm happy. That was really close. I was close on all the ones I didn't get spot on. And this is a good wine. I like it. I like the minerality to it. This wine might benefit. I mean, there's tannin here, right? The Grand Cru usually a lot of times will be, better producers, more age-worthy wines. This wine will probably sing in another 5 years. Like, I'm not totally impressed. That's why I was like, oh, $40. Like, I'm not totally impressed with it, but I think that's because this wine isn't ready yet. Like, this is a very tannic wine. This wine needs time in the bottle to kind of round out. So this is a more age-worthy wine, in my opinion. It definitely also, my gut said Bordeaux just because Bordeaux has this hallmark iron character, gravelly character that I definitely got. So I'm happy, got really close. I hope you enjoyed this season of Vino Blind. We're gonna do, I think, another one at some point, but this was a lot of fun. It was fun for me to hone in my skills. I hope it helped you at home. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.